Hello and welcome to all my Flosstube neighbors. I am Chris and this is Xrossstitch, and today is Tuesday, October the 19th, 2021, and this is Flosstube number 23. 23, Judy Turner. Random. If you know the musical chorus line, you'll understand that very obscure and vague reference. Anyway, if you are a new viewer, thank you for finding me. I hope that you like what you see here on my channel. This is a channel primarily about cross stitch, but there's a lot more to my channel than just cross stitching, although that is the only craft. But I hope that you like what you see and that you'll like the video and subscribe to my channel and ring the bell so you're notified of when I post new things. You are more than welcome in this neighborhood. And to all my returning viewers, you are the neighborhood. This is the neighborhood that you have helped build. I'm continually grateful to you. I appreciate each and every one of you for all your comments and your love and your generosity. And I just am always so happy to be spending time with you each week. So thank you for coming back. We start every video here at Xrossstitch with naming Handstanding Cat. Spinning the wheel. Handstanding Cat is the top of Tiki, Tree of 1,000 Faces. So coined because a friend of mine, after we remodeled, walked in, saw the piece of teak driftwood that is this focal piece in the corner and said, "That looks like a handstanding cat." Handstanding cat. And I asked you all for names and there were too many to choose, so I put them all on the wheel and I spin it every week. And this week, Jody D has named handstanding cat Ta-da, which I love. Ta-da. If I could do a handstand, rest assured that I would say ta-da right before I fell onto my head. The second thing that we always talk about at the top of my videos is Ted's Change Jar. Ted's Change Jar is a way by which we are raising money to donate to Dolly's Imagination Library at the end of the year. For each and every comment on this video and all of my videos from the beginning of my channel until the end of the year, 1 penny goes into Ted's Change Jar. And at the end of the year, I will count all that up and we will make a donation. Some of you are offering to match that sum, and then others of you have donated using the Buy Me a Coffee link below. My Buy Me a Coffee link is specifically for donations to Ted's Change Jar. I do not use it for anything else at this point. And at the end of the year, as I said, we will make a donation providing children under the age of 5 with books until they are 5 years old. This is all through Dolly's Imagination Library, of course, and we'll be making the donation in your name and in the name of Ted, the father of one of my dear viewers, San Diego Stitcher, who told the story and inspired this charitable drive that we're doing. So for those of you who have donated over the past week, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. And for those of you who continue to comment on each video, I get as much joy out of that as I do knowing that it's going to help further our totals for the Imagination Library. So it's a win-win situation for everyone. So thank you so much for continuing to help me support this wonderful cause that we're all doing together. And it's time for a quick public service announcement. Many of you're always so good about letting me know when other people across Flosstube have mentioned me in one way or another, and I really appreciate that. I subscribe to so many Flosstubers and watch many of them and try to watch as much as I can. Of course, every now and then I miss, so please do continue letting me know, because I always like to thank people. I like people to know that it's all reciprocal, right? So continue to do that. Many of you over the past week were trying to let me know that I won a giveaway by the Steel City Stitchers. And this is the second time that this has happened since I've started my Flosstube channel. So this is the public service announcement. I don't sign up for giveaways. I feel as if I receive so many things through Happy Mail from each and every one of you and your generosity. I have all that I need. And so therefore, I don't take part in giveaways because I think that that's, I want as many people to have the opportunity to do that as possible. So I don't participate. One of my viewers, actually watches this channel, is known as Chris Cross Stitches. Chris with a K, Cross with a C, Stitches with an S. And I am Chris, Cross with an X, Stitch, 2 words. When I named my channel, of course, I looked it up and saw that no one else had my exact name. But Chris Cross Stitches is another person on Flosstube. So I don't believe they have a channel per se, but that is who won both of the giveaways both times this has happened. It has not been me. But thank you for letting me know. But just know that if they say crisscross stitches, it's not me. In fact, it won't ever be me because I don't, again, as I said, I don't take part in giveaways. I want to spread the wealth and spread the love. So there's a little public service announcement, but thank you for letting me know at any rate. I do appreciate it. So my buddy Darcy Cameron sent a photograph, and I had not realized how the cosmos had aligned. Take a look at this. What do you notice? This was not planned. This was absolutely not planned. But I kind of love it in light of the fact that last week I talked about how, eventually, these two forces are going to collide. And I don't know exactly how, and I don't know exactly when, and we haven't really talked about it since then. But if Argyle sweater synchronicity is any indication, brace yourselves, Flosstube viewers, because one of these days, there will be something with the two of us together. I'm putting it out there, Darcy. I'm speaking it into the universe. So let's I guess we'll have to do something now, won't we? But man, you've got great taste in sweaters. And now on to the cross stitching. I am starting with an exciting FFO this week, and if you've been looking closely behind me today, you may have seen this already. But earlier in the year, I finished a wonderful design by Bendy Stitchy Designs, Michelle Bendy Stitchy, who also has a channel here on Flosstube, I'm sure you all know. I finished Hildy's Hayride, and over the weekend, I FFO'd it. I'm so pleased with this. You just do not know. Now, this is very simply done. It's simply an inset. I don't have any buttons. I don't have any embellishments yet, although I may look for some and maybe put a few doodads here and there, or pins actually to go in it. It's a little bit bigger than a pin cushion, but this is the first time I've ever really attempted a finish like this. I can sew and actually have made costumes all of my life. Well, not all my life. Since college onward, I've been able to do costuming as well as performing. And there's a whole story in that of Miss Patty and my costume mistress at college. I'll do a whole segment on her because she's amazing. She's still with us. But this was my first time attempting this. I'm so happy about the way this turned out. And this is made out of fabric that I once used as a costume. This was part of a Halloween costume that I did. I no longer have the costume. I think it was some kind of sparkly scarecrow because it does have a sheen to it. But I thought, what better way to FFO this than using the material left over from a costume, a Halloween costume that I actually wore and have fond memories of. So now not only when I look at this will I be proud of the finish of a wonderful, wonderful design, I'll be able to remember the costume that was associated with a very fun Halloween and a Halloween party that I went to. So first attempt, not perfect. As Annie, the proper stitcher, says, there are no such thing as perfect finishes, which is fine and great because it's true. But I'm so happy with it. Another interesting thing about this is this honky tonk. This is a variegated thread called honky tonk. And who makes it? Who makes it? Threadworks. It is not expressly purple. But when you put it next to this fabric, for some reason, the purple tones come out and it all goes beautifully. So pleased to share this with you. I've been working on a lot of holiday ornaments over the week, and I felt bad because we're in the month of October. So here's a little bit of Halloween stitch, my FFO of Hildy's Hayride by Bendy Stitchy Designs. So proud of it. And along those same lines, I have 3 more finishes to show you. Now, they're not huge because they're ornaments. 2 of them, in fact, now I've done all 3. I showed you the first one I did last week, but these are all out of JBW Designs Christmas Ornaments number 3. This was a limited edition collector's booklet that she did. But I believe you can find these. We'll see. I'll have to ask Judy about that. But at any rate, there are 3 reindeer ornaments in this booklet, and I've stitched all 3 now. And here they are. I'm covering something up because this is. I want to show you this in a little bit later. But I just love these. I completely gave you the wrong DMC that I'm stitching these in. It's a variegated, beautiful variegated red. And right now it's even escaping me. So I'm going to look it up and I'll put it in the inset below. But these were great. Each of these stitched up in a night, an hour and a half while watching television. And I really got on an ornament kick this week. I didn't stitch much. Well, I stitched a lot, but not on a great many things. But I really wanted to get a head start on doing my ornaments for my cross-stitch Christmas tree. So I'm proud of those. Another finish that I had coincides with a bit of haul that I received. And it was an amazing bit of haul. Well, it was actually Happy Mail. But it's, again, one of my viewers asked, could she send me some things that she had just collected over the many years that she wanted to, recycle into the community. And I said, absolutely, I will be that vehicle for you. So my dear viewer, Barbara M., sent me literally a box full of cross-stitch magazines. And these things go all the way back into the 80s, which is a thrill for me because that's when I started cross-stitching. So I chose I found one of the magazines. They had a whole gaggle of ornaments, and I chose one to stitch up. And I just did this last night, finished the back stitching this morning. Look at this little snowman. Is he not adorbs? He's so cute. I love him. Now, I changed some of the colors on this, but I'm really happy with how he turned out. But this was from actually a magazine that I'm putting up here that dates back from 1989, the year I graduated high school. And this was the volume 1, issue 1 of this particular cross-stitch periodical issued by Leisure Arts itself. Of course, Leisure Arts was and might still be. Are they still around? I don't know if Leisure Arts is still around as a company, but they were huge in the 80s and well, in the 90s and early 2000s, because these magazines range over all those dates. But I had so much fun stitching this out of that magazine. Barbara, I told you I was going to do something really quickly out of one. So thank you so much for sending them. I'll be using those for giveaways and for different things throughout the year. So I will gladly be sharing Barbara's treasure trove of magazines with each and every one of you through giveaways. But these were my ornament finishes for the week, and I'm thrilled to death about them. I've got a good head start on my ornament making. The main focus piece that I worked on this week was Modern Folk Embroidery's Dark Crosses Spirits of the Dead. And this is the inversion of this chart that Jacob has now made available as an option when you purchase this particular chart. There is a hashtag for this that we have my friend Stacy at 911 Stitcher and I are doing with several other people, and it is hashtag Spirits of the Dead Sal. So if you are stitching this piece, and I know many of you are, please join that hashtag so that we can see each other's work. But this is just amazing. I've aside from the ornaments, this is what I worked on exclusively this week. I've never been a fan of stitching lettering, but I'm enjoying this. I think it's probably because I'm using the sulky, and the coverage is great. I love the color choice on this fabric. It's coming out exactly as I wanted it. And you know, you can go a long way and you don't have to worry about railroading, and I just really enjoy stitching this. I've been jumping around a little bit to vary it up. I will stitch a word and then go to the border and then stitch a word and then go, and I've begun filling in some of the main design because I wanted to see how the inversion was going to look. And I'm just so happy. I'm happy with the color, I'm happy with the coverage, I'm happy with the inversion itself. I'm just thrilled about it. It excites me to do this, and at the exclusion of other pieces, I just wanted to stitch this week. I wanted to stitch this and the ornaments, and that's okay. You know, sometimes you, especially those of you who have many works in progress, you'll know this. Sometimes you just get on a roll with a piece, or you get in a groove with it and it's making you happy, stitch it. You know, I've got my Mirabilia waiting in the wings. I have my Christmas Quaker that's been lagging for a long time. I have a goodly handful now of whips that are kind of waiting. Sleepy Hollow, gonna finish that by Halloween? No way, you kidding me? I lost my mojo on Sleepy Hollow though. It's that fabric. It will be finished. I will finish Sleepy Hollow before next Halloween. There. Eek. I just said that, so I'm going to have to do it. Anyway, enough. Dark Crosses Spirits of the Dead by Modern Folk Embroidery. Today it is time for Chris's Toy Chest, and in Chris's Toy Chest today, some of you have mentioned these before in other comments on other videos, and I have been meaning to do a toy chest segment on this for a while, but color forms, oh my gosh. You know, certain things, certain toys really date you, and I was surprised to learn that color forms actually go much further back than the 70s. But of course, I came to know them in the 70s and thought that, and was one of the heydays of color forms, at least I think. But if you don't know what color forms are, and most of you I'm sure do, basically they're just little plastic decals that are not, I guess they're made of some sort of vinyl. I can look that up, but they're not like a sticker. They don't have a sticky back. So they are on certain surfaces, particularly glossy cardboard, which is what the backs that came with the set were. They will stick. and you can peel them off and move them around and basically create different scenes with them. Many of the figures will come with multiple arms and bodies so that you can reposition their arms in a variety of different ways. And they're just hours of fun. Now, I was an only child, as I've mentioned before, so color forms were great for me because I would literally sit on the floor and make up my own stories using these color forms for hours. I didn't have many sets of them though. But I do remember two specifically that I had, two specific sets of color forms that I had, and I found pictures of them. The first is, of course, this Peanuts set. Loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. But what bothered me about it was that these were colored in the primary colors. Now this is an insight into my mind. They were in the primary colors, but they weren't the colors that the characters wore. Drove me crazy. Oh my gosh, drove me crazy. Just drove me crazy. Lucy should be blue. Linus should be red. Charlie Brown should be yellow. So it bugged me only that they weren't coordinated with what they normally wear. Of course, they could be any color they wanted. They could wear any color they wanted or be made into any color they wanted. But it always drove me a little bit crazy that Charlie Brown wasn't in yellow because Charlie Brown wears a yellow shirt. Anyway, funny things that you remember. The other set of color forms that I had that I loved, and this is kind of a segue into a larger fandom of mine, was the Wonder Woman Paradise Island set. As I've mentioned, my comic book reading quickly replaced my little golden book reading when I got older. Older meaning, not 4. I was reading comic books very early. Mother used to have her bridge club over in the living room at the card table playing bridge, and my one of her friends, who later was my guidance counselor, said, "You were reading Wonder Woman comic books to us, talking about Greek mythology when you were 6 years old." And I was. I loved Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. All the DC characters were great to me, and Wonder Woman was just, and always has been, one of my favorites. She was, of course, that wonderful TV show with Linda Carter in the 70s. That also had a great deal to do with my love for Wonder Woman. But as a result of that, I had this Wonder Woman color form set, which was great. Specifically one of the ones that I can remember. And I don't think I had many more sets. I just loved those few that I had. I think I had one more. I think I had another Peanuts set that wasn't the baseball set. But I loved color forms. And Shrinky Dinks. Do you remember Shrinky Dinks? That probably doesn't garner an entire segment, but Shrinky Dinks were these things that you would color and then put in the oven, and they'd shrink and get hard plastic, and you could do things with them. I don't know what we did with them. I remember doing them and making a few with some friends. I don't think I ever had any. I think I remember doing them over at my friend Eric's house. But all these things that were wonderfully created for us to play with when we were younger. But color forms is the focus of today, and I know many of you will have color form stories, and I can't wait to hear them. Apparently, as I said earlier, they started in the 50s and continued, probably might even still be made. It's so funny with all these toys that I talk about, I'm surprised at how many are actually still being made. But color forms were so much fun. And I'm sure that a lot of you will have stories to share with me about them. So I hope you enjoyed that toy chest segment. It was a little bit more than just a toy chest. You got a few drive-by stories peppered in there. Another thing that my Another thing that my mother used to love to do at those bridge parties, that when she would have her friends over, when I was a very little boy, I couldn't pronounce the well, as in thirsty or threat or thistle, or the word third. It would come out tursty or tissel or my birthday, August the 3rd. Mother loved to trot me out at her bridge parties and ask me my birthday in front of her friends, to which I would proudly reply, August the 3rd. That was my mother. Very quickly, I had 3 lovely pieces of happy mail this week. One I've already mentioned from my dear viewer Barbara, who sent all the magazines that I will be repurposing for giveaways. She also sent this beautiful card. I just love it. I love hummingbirds. I have them all around my house. And I had to show this because it was so incredibly pretty, and it sparkles. So you gotta love a sparkly hummingbird card. So thank you again, Barbara, for not only for the magazines, but for this lovely card, which I keep these things forever. I never get rid of them. My dear friend and another fellow Flosstuber at Star Parade Craft, Michael, makes needle minders. He repurposes needle minders out of brooches that he finds. And it came on this, he sent it on this card all the way from the UK. I hope you can see it. This is a beautiful parrot needle minder that he has repurposed from a brooch. Another one that he's repurposed from another pin. And he put it on this lovely little card. The great thing about his needle minders, and I don't believe he sells these anywhere, but I have to talk about it because it's a great idea. He puts out of floss, he makes a handle for the needle minder so that you can easily get it off of your canvas or your fabric. And I think that's ingenious because I have struggled sometimes because I don't have long fingernails at all. I have struggled sometimes trying to get my finger under the edge of that magnet to get it off. But thank you so much, Michal, for these. I really do appreciate them, and I will be putting them to good use. Thirdly, I'd like to thank my dear viewer, Sue, who sent this lovely 3-dimensional card that I have back here. It's just wonderful. It's spooky season. It's definitely spooky season. I love this so much. And she sent, it accompanied a wonderful gift. So thank you so much, Sue, for that. I really do appreciate it. Again, as I always say to all of you, it's completely unnecessary, but it's very, very appreciated. So thank you all 3 for that over the course of this week. Thank you so much. I just realized my tree wasn't on until I turned around and noticed that it wasn't on. But now it is. On to the giveaway winner from last week. Last week, I opened the first ever surprise giveaway bundle. This was a bundle given to me, well, a box full of these were given to me by my dear viewer, Trisha, and Trisha D. And we opened the first one, and it was a lovely bundle of postcard-sized samplers and a lovely greeting card that was in the bundle with it. So the winner, the key word for this was samplers, and the winner of this bundle is Marianne Johnson. Marianne, send me, I think I might already have your address, but be sure to email me with your address, and I will get this out to you very, very soon. The Marianne sent me a piece of is one of the first people who ever sent me happy mail, so that's why I may have your address. But just in case, send me an email and I will get those 2 things out to you. We are going to also do a giveaway this week. I have enough now. So we're going to open another bundle. But I have to go get it. I guess I'll have to do it again this week too. I did it last week. I tried to split it up, but you know, what the heck. I must have run into a barbershop quartet. Anyway, I have a giveaway. I have a giveaway prize. I'm seriously not going to wear this. Do you like it? It's very this is a real straw boater. I can't remember where I picked this up. I have my closet is like a costume warehouse in there. Here we go. Now, before I open it, this may be one giveaway or it may be more than one. I'm going to make an on-the-spot decision. So we might be able to, this might be a two-parter. I just don't know because, as you know, this is the first time I will have opened this, and this is in a knot. All right, here we go. Oh, wow. Okay, it's going to be two. This is a two giveaway. Okay, these are adorable. This is a Winnie the Pooh kit. It's for an ornament. It's Pooh and Piglet. It's unopened. It's the entire kit. This is fantastic. The keyword for this will be Pooh, P-O-O-H. Please include the H. Sorry for the glare, but, and the second, again, it is another full kit. These are, it appears that these are for the top of boxes, fabric boxes. But you can see they're little butterfly. You could absolutely do those on this, or you could use them elsewhere. But for this, let's use the word butterfly because the design is a butterfly. So Pooh and butterfly, two giveaways for next week. So much fun. I love doing this. This is so exciting. So Pooh, butterfly. Make sure you use the H. Otherwise, in the Under 1,000 Subs Club today, I actually haven't had a dedicated Under 1,000 Subs Club mention in a while, although I've mentioned people for the past several weeks who are in the Under 1,000 Subs Club. But today, I do have a specific mention, and that is Amber at the Flosstube channel RogueMamaStitcher. She only has 7 videos out, but her stitching is beautiful. She does mostly colorful, whimsical things, but with a lot of back stitching, but they're so beautiful. And in her most recent video, she shows a series of Christmas stockings that she has done for different members of her family as heirloom pieces, and they are simply gorgeous, just gorgeous. So I encourage you to go and check her out because her stitching is beautiful, colorful, intricate. These stockings are just amazing. So Amber, thank you so much for the shout out on your channel, but I want to let people know about you and your channel because your stitching is beautiful. And I hope that many of my wonderful viewers will come and see what you're doing. So there you go. RogueMamaStitcher. So that's today's Flosstube. I have certainly enjoyed spending this time with you. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. Next week, we will have more whips to show, although I'm not going to promise that I won't work on ornaments a lot because I'm excited about these ornaments and getting enough to do on this tree. But until then, thank you so much for joining me. I'm always so happy to spend time with you, and I hope that you have a wonderful week wherever you are, in whatever part of the world you are, of stitching and happiness and peace. And I can't wait to see you again next week, right here for Crisscross Stitch. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.